Good morning, lovely. I got a channel message. I am not me, I am we. We are entering a new paradigm of community, back to our roots of congregating in small clusters that are beyond families, but more of communal tribes. We are going back to our roots where it concerns being in touch with the earth and all of the elements. We are going back to our roots where it concerns loving each other and ourselves and the earth. It is time to turn back to the way things always were, the way things were meant to be. We were meant to be in tune with ourselves and each other. We are meant to be in tune with nature and all of the wild things and creatures just outside our door. We are all connected, and the more we honor ourselves and each other, the more everyone wins. This is a really beautiful message, and honestly came through today right around a time when I really needed some uplifting energy, because there's a lot of darkness and heaviness and kind of there's just a lot of resistance that we're pushing through. And I think this is exactly why this message came through, because it's time that we started relying on each other again. You know, I believe a lot of us started to feel a little differently during the pandemic, to reevaluate our lives and our priorities. 111 on my timer. Thank you, Spirit. Starting to see ourselves and the world differently, starting to understand that maybe we want a little bit more from this life. Maybe we desire and crave a little bit more. And especially where it concerns going back to our roots, moving back into the country, moving out into a smaller town, connecting with other humans, getting land with friends and family, cultivating that land. There's a lot of what people might term as like cliche conversations about this, but that's just because we're awakening as a species. We're awakening to some things that we've always known, but also we're awakening at a time when there's so much more that we're bringing to the table that we didn't have back then. It's a convergence, I'm hearing, the convergence of these two worlds. The past, the connection with the earth, the connection with each other, the communal spirit, you know, it takes a village to raise young ones type of mentality, but also bringing in this sense of autonomy that we've created for ourselves, a sense of being able to go out and envision a new reality as a single individual, and then bring that back to the collective, bring that back to your community. And I've been saying more recently, instead of think locally, act, or think globally, act locally, I've been thinking think locally, act globally, where it concerns platforms like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. But we're, either way, it doesn't really matter which way you phrase it, we're trying to come back to ourselves, to the earth, to God, whether or not you believe in God in the way that I do, whether you call it spirit or the universe, it doesn't really matter. The earth is a part of us. We are animals. We belong here, much in the same way that a bear or a deer belong here. And it's time that we started to connect with the earth again. It's time that we started connecting with each other. And all this hate and vitriol and division that we've been seeing in our lives and in the realities around us has, I think, been born of this need to kind of restructure everything. And as we've said with some other causes in the recent past, we can't just fix it. We have to tear it all down and start over. And so this is kind of the era that we're in. A lot of us are going to be wrestling with the notion of having to leave behind family members, friends, businesses, identities, versions of ourselves that we thought would be with us until we died, and instead create a reality based around this now moment, who we want to be in this now moment. And it's not about yesterday and it's not about tomorrow. It's about right now. Harnessing whatever difficulties you might be dealing with and pouring them into creating a better now moment for you and everyone else. And I'll be the first to admit that I started my day feeling a lot of anger. And I'm not going to go into detail on why, but I went for a long walk and tried to move that energy. And it was like, it felt like everything was just adding more fuel to that fire. And I feel like it's because I needed to harness it all, come back here and channel this message for you guys, turn all of that adversity and difficulty and darkness that I was wrestling with and pour it into something beautiful for the collective and for myself ultimately, because all of these messages start with me and God. These are conversations that I have with God that I share with you. So I hope it reached you, whoever needed it. If you've been feeling guided to move back out onto the land or into a smaller town, or you've been having visions of owning land like me and bringing people to it and making it a healing place for people to grow and transform, or if it's just about you and your family having a plot of land and working it, having a garden. These are all things that are basically being planted on your heart and in your mind, because it's a collective experience that we're all having. We're all being kind of ushered back onto the land. And I trust personally, even though I don't know where money's coming from, how I'm going to move, like how money is going to fall together for the next place I'm living, because I'm moving in 2 weeks. I'm in God's hands. I've had a vision of my land since I was 17 years old when I had my first spiritual awakening. And I know that that land is just out there waiting for me. And I have to keep reminding myself that the universe doesn't need to provide anything more, produce anything more in order for my dreams to come true, in order for me to have what it is that I've had visions of since I was young. Everything that we desire already is in existence. It's just a matter of changing hands. And we have to just remember that God moves in mysterious ways. And so even if you don't know how you're going to pay for your land or how that land is going to come into your hands, like me, I trust, and I'm asking you to trust, that when you become in alignment with yourself and with God and with your soul path, that land is just going to present itself to you. Whether it's somebody else offering for you to come and stay on their land with them and create a family, a community with them, or whether it's somebody handing you a piece of land and saying you create something, which is what I believe I'm here to do. But either way, just know that you're not doing this alone, that we are being guided back to community, and it will be hard for some of us who have been really, really isolated during the pandemic to come back into the fold of humanity, but it's such an important part of this healing and ascension process, so don't resist it. Know that you are safe to be around other humans now, especially the ones that you're being guided to at this time. So with all of that being said, I fucking love you. If you do want to show support for my work or learn more about me, you can check out my website, Sacred Muse Project.com. I quit a lucrative business to do this work full time for spirit, for you, for me. And I just have to trust that everything is going to fall into place, and I'm moving forward in faith. And it's terrifying, but it's also part of the journey, and I'm here to walk in front of you to guide the way for those of you that are being asked to relinquish things in your own life and you don't know the hows and the whats, that you're not the only person taking leaps and bounds in the darkness and trusting that you'll be caught, because we all will be caught in God's hands. And again, it doesn't matter if you call it the universe, the divine, if it's just the earth. Some people call the earth Gaia, but regardless, you're held, you're amazing, I fucking love you, and I'll see you next time.